welcome to episode 7 of the Webcomic Beacon Presents First Issue.
I'm Marcus, and I'm very, very tired.
I'm Melissa.
And I'm Fes.
You're not sure?
You should be a lot more excited because we're going to be looking at...
We actually like this comic, that's what's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
We're
going to be looking at Static Shock,
Yes.
number 1. Number 1 from the new 52, mind you.
Yes.
So, I got to tell you, I remember a bit of Static Shock as a cartoon for like a little while before I stopped watching cartoons after school.
Yeah.
I do remember a Static Shock. I remember liking it, but I can't remember much of it because...
It was a good cartoon, though.
It was actually quite
solid.
Quite well made.
Yeah, it was well written and
really good
well
ratings,
managed, yeah.
weirdly. You wouldn't expect based on the way that it kind of got treated towards the end.
yeah, it just kind of got buried. You don't
but
hear much about it anymore.
well, also nobody beats the little yellow rat.
What?
Pokemon.
Oh,
Nobody beats Pokemon.
Pikachu. Anyway, there is. Gotta catch them all. Anyway, there's so we have Static Shock, the cover. I like this color. There's a lot of cover. There's a lot of color.
There's color on the cover.
There's color on the cover. It doesn't look too complex of a background. Background's kind of faded out a little bit, but it's vibrant. Got Static Shock coming in, whoosh, and Static Shock, the logo. And it's like, you can see on the shelf, that is Static Shock. I don't think you can mistake it for any other character.
It's a sharp cover. It is clean, it is vibrant, it's eye-catching, but it's easy to tell at a glance what and who it's about.
Exactly, and I like the fact that it's a very similar design to the cartoon design, because Static has gone through several different designs in his time, and there are other issues, like his original comic was just called Static, for example. Static Shock was the cartoon's name, and I like that they kept the cartoon's name, because it tells me that what they're looking for this is to bring in people who are familiar with the cartoon to read the comic, and that's exactly what they need to do.
That's an important thing that we can bring up at some future issues.
Yeah.
The variation between popularity of the TV show versus looking at the comic and some... But we'll save that for some future issues here. It looks like he's standing on his own HeroClix pad here.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's supposed to be, but...
he's flying.
Yeah, he
I guess
has a disc of some sort.
HeroClix disc or whatever. Anyway.
Like one, but
Yeah.
So we start off with... Static Shock is in the midst of battle, and one thing that I've been noticing with this, probably could bring this up, is the title page. Of course, we got the cover, which is like introducing, this is the comic, and then we've got a title page. DC Comic proudly presents Static Shock in Recharged. I haven't really been paying attention to these too much in these reviews, but they do kind of stand out. As I've read webcomics, and sometimes people will have covers. Especially if they're more story-based.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of webcomics will go for a while and then have the cover. So there's some variation with that, and I've been noticing with some of these, the cover is sometimes a few pages in. And
well,
this was
it's kind of borrowing a page from movies, where sometimes you have a scene from the movie and then you go into the title sequence. Or, some movies don't even have a title sequence at all.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's right at the front, and you can see stuff happening while the credits roll. Sometimes it's just on a black screen. So that's
for the best. We want variation. You want there to be no established set format. The whole idea is to enhance creativity as far as an art form is concerned. And so this is cool for me.
I do like that these, unlike like what I've seen in webcomics, is that these title pages. I mean, it's like when you I think I'm with webcomics, when they have like the title page, that usually ends up being the cover for like that when they sell like that particular issue. For these, it's more like there's like a title page, but it's all still a part of the action, still a part of what's going on. I do like that. Yes. I do like that about when I've been reading these print comics.
Also, I'd like to point out that I like how the cover is almost an additional panel that leads into the first page of the
which
comic.
Is really, really good. I know that's sometimes a complaint where some people say, well, the cover has nothing to do with what's going on the inside, or that scene isn't in there, or those people aren't in there. So this is a really good flow.
Like you're leaping right into the middle of the action.
Right in there.
So you're in the thick of battle. We got a display of powers, things he can do, which don't question this science.
Yes,
sort of thing.
There's a lot of techno-babble here. But the point is, the writing makes it very clear on what he's doing, what his deal is, what he can do. He's smart. What his thinking process is. You learn a lot about this character in just very few pages.
Right. And in particular, you understand that he's not all that experienced because not everything he tries works.
Yeah, he is a kid. Yeah. It's fairly clear the way he's talking, and everyone's kind of.
But everything he does has a logic to it, and you know the logic, and it's the writing's very compact, and I'm very impressed.
And you get a really good feel for the character, and it's just a really good flow. I can totally picture this as a sequence in some the first episode of a cartoon series.
Yeah,
it's this would be really cool.
Absolutely.
And boy, I love this art. I am utterly, completely in love with this art. The inking, the penciling, even the lettering. It is solid piece of artwork. The coloring is sharp. It's easy to read. It is easy to follow the action. The panels are dynamic. It's great. It is great stuff.
What do you think about the art?
Oh, well, for me, the art was very nice. I tend to like this style where it's a little bit more on the cartoony side as opposed to being super realistic. Yeah, because the thing is, it's not a non-serious book, but it's not an overly serious book. I would call it a good shonen series where you've got just the right amount of seriousness, the right amount of comedy, to where you actually get a bit of levity. You have a dynamic of moods. Where there's a lot of these, they tend to have one mood, and they say, okay, we're doing this page 1 to page 22 or 24, wherever it ends. With this one, they're like, okay, this was very serious. Now let's do something funny. Now this was a little more funny. The next thing, let's make it more intrigue. We'll make it more mysterious. And they kind of give you a little bit more of an emotional roller coaster while you're reading the entire story. I especially love the fact that, despite being done completely unironically, his villains look just like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yes! The anti-Power Rangers or something. I was going to...
Axum Rangers from Mario RPG, maybe? But
I don't know.
They're awesome. I love that little visual dynamic where you kind of get the idea that, all right, these characters, despite being part of one team, these guys may become individuals in their own right. Because they look very visually distinctive. For the most part, very, very Captain Planet.
And they also got the very multicultural setup here. I mean, we got, a couple of clearly, we got the white guy, we got the ginger, we got the black guy, we got the
it's just maybe Hispanic.
Maybe Hispanic, and I'm not entirely sure. And then we got the green guy who's called Viral, and I'm wondering, okay, did you pick that name yourself? Is he a fish guy?
No, over here.
There's a fish guy right there. I thought this guy looked like a contained piece of...
Yeah, he's like a contained energy or something.
Yeah, something really weird.
And I think the Joker's there.
What? Yeah, I was wondering what is this panel. That can't be the Joker. That's a fake Joker. That's somebody... Why is he with the police in a trench coat?
I don't know, but that's what I'm interested in.
I don't know what's going on here.
That's something that kind of gave me some intrigue. And I think that one character was Asian, yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that this is a very multicultural or multiracial comic. It's not just in the
main superhero.
The main superhero, but I mean even the secondary characters. You have Asian, Hispanic. You have people that are clearly not everybody's white. And
of course, we don't find out too much about them just yet, so we don't know how bad they're going to treat a stereotype. Maybe, let's hope not.
But if this first issue is an indicator, they're just regular characters. They just happen to be this race.
Just as long as we don't start seeing crazy stereotypes. I like in the story that they do mention that he did stuff elsewhere. I don't know if in the old Static comics they had him based in Dakota. Dakota. I mean, did North and South did they rejoin?
It's a city.
It's
a city called.
I thought it was like the state, and they solved the differences and became one.
No,
state.
it's just the city. The city is called Dakota.
The Republic of South Dakota.
Okay,
it's very odd. It's similar to say Springfield, where there's not a particular state they acknowledge it being a part of. It's just the city.
And I might be thinking, it's like, well, he's a transplant, he's a kid. Let's look at every new resident that came to this area from this other state and see if we can try to find out who this is. It's kind of dangerous, I think.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they'll play with that in the future. But let's see here. Well, we're like, we're following through, and it sounds like some local person took him under his wing. They do cut back to his family for just a little bit, just enough to touch on it, not enough for me to get bored with. Then he goes to, I guess he's working for a local superhero maybe, and he gets like a new stuff from him. So it's like, okay, cool. He's like being a part of a new group, and then suddenly it's like, oh shit, I guess.
Or his arm got.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're not going to. But something happens. Is like, I didn't see that coming.
To make you say,
Whoa.
holy shit, where the fuck's the next issue?
Yeah, and I really like. I really did like this comic, and this is the first of the first batch that was like, hey, this is pretty interesting. For a newcomer, I would give this a thumbs up. This one succeeds for me.
Big win.
Yeah.
Big win. Big
All
win.
three.
But I guess that's the end of the review then.
Absolutely.
All right,
Yeah.
that was
Buy it. It's
number
good.
1 of Static Shock.